Hello everyone, it's Lewis and welcome back to Lewis's Football Mind. And today I will be doing episode 1 of the Football Talk. So this is going to be a new series. That is just going to be me talking about different football stories, some of my opinions. For example, like the January transfer window will definitely have a big part in the next few episodes as we are in the January transfer window right now. I'll also be talking about different stories from this year and my predictions for the rest of the season and also the surprise packages of this season. So today I've picked a few stories and headlines that I will talk about and put my opinions forward. So I've picked Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to talk about which club should he join at the end of the season or should he stay at PSG and why he has to leave PSG if he wants to win a Ballon d'Or. I'll also be talking about the rise of Girona. Yep, what a season Girona having, from being bought from the city by the City Football Group to being second in La Liga and in the title race. Can they win La Liga? We'll have to find out. The Premier League title race, I'll also put my opinions forward on who will win this season's Premier League. An FA Cup preview, picking out the biggest games ahead of the weekend's clashes, including the Tyne Wear derby and the big game on Sunday between Arsenal and Liverpool. And also, I'll be doing who could win the Ballon d'Or in 2024. I'll be doing the players who I think will have a good chance. I'll also be doing factors, including the Euros this summer, Champions League, obviously, individual stats, and league campaigns as well. So, lots to talk about today. Hopefully, I can get a few people on for the next episode. But if anyone wants to be in an episode, just let me know in the comments below or on social media, which is Lewis Hill 89. Always happy to do different videos. I love to do a quiz. I've wrote some quizzes so we could do different things or talk about predictions for the Euros or whatnot. So definitely be great to have some people on the channel. Right, let's start off with the main man, the generational talent of our generation, Kylian Mbappe. His contract is up at the end of the season. What should he do? Should he stay in Paris and live out the rest of his career in the Farmers League, winning pointlessly titles, or should he be going to the big time? Real Madrid, Liverpool, Champions League, and Ballon d'Ors. And I'm going to answer right now. He should leave PSG. Why? He's 25 years old. Obviously, he won the World Cup in 2018, which is unbelievable. He's going to have that for the rest of his career. He scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. He could have 2 World Cups by 25. That would have been mind blown. He did all he could, but just wasn't enough to beat Lionel Messi's Argentina. Why do I think he should leave PSG? Well, he's just too good for PSG. It's a shame because if he wants to become one of the greatest players like ever, which he will want to, because he has got the talent. I don't think he will. I don't think he'll be like the Pele, the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Zidans, but I definitely think he has the potential to be a Ballon d'Or winner, a multiple Ballon d'Or winner, especially Ronaldo and Messi come to the end of their careers. But I don't think he'll be able to do that PSG. And the Champions League as well. He hasn't won Champions League. He's been in Champions League final, lost 1-0 by me in 2020. But I don't think PSG are near a Champions League win. You know, they got through the group of death just about. Got Sociedad down the round 16. That's actually a tougher game than people will think. But I just don't see PSG win the Champions League anytime soon. You know, they've went for a new approach, signing younger players instead of spending big money on superstars, which hasn't worked in the past. I think Kylian Mbappe's been brilliant for PSG, but I think it is time for him to go. But where should he go? That is the question, and now I'm going to answer. I want him to come to Liverpool, and he's actually linked with Liverpool. He does have a relationship with Jurgen Klopp. His mother is a Liverpool supporter, so I definitely think Liverpool are second in the race for Kylian Mbappe if Liverpool go for him. I don't think we'll get him. It's not really a signing Liverpool make under Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp doesn't really sign like world-class superstars. He's made superstars like Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, etc. But when they joined Liverpool, they weren't superstars. Jurgen Klopp made them superstars. Kylian Mbappe is in the spotlight all the time and isn't really what Liverpool do. So I would be surprised if we do get him in the summer. And the wages are mind blowing. Liverpool do have a wage structure. Mo Salah earns the most with £350,000. Kylian Mbappe will probably earn quite a bit more than that as well. So it probably would ruin the wage structure as well. Can Liverpool afford him? I don't know. At least they don't have to pay a transfer fee. If we had to pay over 100 million, 150, then absolutely no chance. But still, these wages are going to cost a lot of money, especially if he's going to be there for what, 6, 8, even maybe 10 years. His wages will cost a lot of money for Liverpool. So I don't think we'll be able to get him. Hopefully we do. I think it'll be a massive, massive boost. I think we'll be in the Champions League again next season as well. So he'd definitely be a player who could help us win a second Champions League title under Jurgen Klopp. But can I say this happening? No. But I do see him going to Real Madrid. I think everyone does. It's been talked about for so long now. Will it happen though? Real Madrid do not have a world class striker at the moment. Jude Bellingham he's hit the ground running. He's been sensational this season, scored multiple goals for Real Madrid. But they do have Josh Lewis striker, who isn't a bad player, but he's definitely not a world class striker. So is there a space there for Kylian Mbappe? Real Madrid are definitely in a better financial situation to pay Kylian Mbappe's wages than other clubs like Liverpool. Manchester City, Real Madrid are probably the only clubs really that can't afford him, except PSG as well. Bayern Munich, there are strict financial fair play rules in Germany. So I don't think Bayern Munich will be able to do that. Chelsea maybe, but I don't think you go to Chelsea. Manchester United possibly, but obviously they're in an absolute state right now. I think he'd be better off staying at PSG than going to Manchester United right now. So really, Real Madrid are the only, and Man City, but there's no space for. I don't see Mbappe fitting in City's team, especially with Haaland, Foden, Doku, Grealish. They've got so many attacking talent that I don't think he would fit into that team. And I don't think Pep Guardiola will go for him either, but who knows. But I think Real Madrid are the only real team who can properly afford his wages. It's a dream of his. He had posters of Ronaldo up when he was 14, when he was a kid and all of that. So I do think it will happen. But it's hard to tell really. In my opinion, I think he'll stay. I've said I just don't see him leaving. I don't know why. I want him to leave desperately because I want him to go on and win the Ballon d'Or, to win the Champions League and become the player that I know he can be and win the trophies that he deserves. But I just don't see him leaving. I don't know why. He must love France, love PSG, something. Maybe just a little spot in PSG that he wants to stay. But there could be another side of him saying, I want to get out of here. I want to be playing with proper world-class players on the big stage in finals, winning trophies and winning Ballon d'Ors as well. But yeah, it's anyone's guess really. I feel like it could be Real Madrid, he stays, or Liverpool. I don't really see any other options. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I do want him to go. I would love him to go to Liverpool. But I think if he leaves, it'll be for Real Madrid. So that is the Kylian Mbappe saga. That will not end. It will definitely not end. I will definitely keep an eye on that. I think the whole world will. And it will be very interesting to see if he signs a new deal with PSG. Before his contract expires, and will he be in a PSG shirt next season? We will have to find out. So now it is the rise of Girona. I've done some research in Girona's history and how they have got to the top. So A few people will know that they are owned by the City Football Group, which is obviously the same people who own Manchester City, like Sheikh Mansour as well. So Girona is owned by the City Football Group, around 44%. The owner of Girona, and bought them in 2017. But Girona was not founded in 2017. It was founded in 1930 and spent 87 years in the lower divisions before finally getting that promotion to La Liga. The achievement was coincided with the takeover in 2017, and it's ran by Pep Guardiola's brother, Pen Guardiola. So he runs Girona. Obviously, we're trying to live up to his brother's achievements, but that will be very, very hard. It will be interesting though. Girona look like they will qualify for the Champions League. They've got a 10-point gap between second, which they are, and fourth place, which is Barcelona, I believe, at the moment, but I think they're playing tonight. Well, there's a situation. Apparently, there is a rule where if the owner of two clubs, if you own two clubs in the Champions League, it's not allowed. They both can't play in the Champions League. So could be a situation. I think RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg found the loophole, so they are allowed to play in the Champions League together, as they are both owned by the Red Bull company. So I don't know if they could find a loophole. I don't know if Girona will be allowed, because City Football Group don't own all of Girona. So it will be very, very interesting to see what happens there. But Girona deserve Champions League football. They deserve to win La Liga, and the way they're playing. They're playing absolutely brilliant football, very attacking based football, but also a very strong defence under Michel. If I pronounce that right, I do apologise if I did not. So 2017-18, Girona had one of the best debut years ever in La Liga, finishing 10th. But you'd want to build on that, especially with new owners. But instead, they got relegated and spent a further 2 seasons in La Liga 2, the second division of Spanish football. They did get their promotion again after consecutive 5th place finishes, and last season finished 10th with 49 points. This season, they've already got 48 points, and half the games have been played. It just shows the level Girona have been on this season. They did lose some key players as well. Romeo went to Barcelona. Santiago Bueno left as well, but they did get some key players in at a very cheap price, including Daley Blind for Manchester United defender, Yanda Herrera on a full deal for Manchester City, Gazaniga and Eric Garcia were a few of some signings in the summer. So really good signings. Have been very strong defensively this season, and they've created a lot of chances up front. They've only lost 1 game this season, and you can guess who beat them. Real Madrid. Real Madrid have also lost 1 game this season as well. So it's a very, very tight title race. Both teams won 15, both have drawn 3, and both have only lost 1. So what a title race this could be. Barcelona and Atletico will definitely want to stay in the title race, but they are 10 points behind. Barcelona do have a game in hand though, so that is a must win against Las Palmas. I believe they're playing tonight. But Girona, they haven't just beat the small teams. They beat Atletico 4-3 last night in a thrilling La Liga encounter. They scored a 91st minute winner by Ivan Martinez, I believe, scored the goal to beat Atletico Madrid 4-3 and go 10 points clear of them, who are in 3rd right now in La Liga. So yeah, Girona have definitely been amazing this season. Obviously, they've had ups and downs since their takeover, but now look like they're going to secure Champions League football next season, and who knows, they could secure a La Liga title as well. It'll be really, really interesting to see if they can keep this up for the rest of the season. But they are no mugs. They are not just here on luck. They have been playing some excellent football and have got an excellent team and an excellent manager. It's if they can keep it up Obviously, injuries could be a big factor. If they don't keep everyone fit, then maybe they might not be able to keep up with Real Madrid, who are a massive force, of course, especially with Jude Bellingham as well. So hopefully they do it. I do kind of want Real Madrid to win as well, hopefully, because of Jude Bellingham. As I think it will give him a lot of confidence going into the Euros with England. Hopefully he stays fit. Hopefully every key England player stays fit, because I really do think England have a really good chance in the Euros this summer. So hopefully he can stay fit, and it'd be great for him to win La Liga as well. But what a fairy tale this would be if Girona win La Liga. A lot of people have been saying this will be on par with Leicester's title winning season in 2015 to 16. I disagree with that. I think the fact that obviously the owners is a factor. I'm not taking anything away from Girona, but obviously Leicester don't have rich owners. Sorry, but yeah, and another factor, Girona, Leicester were like just stayed up the season before they won the league, and they were right down in that relegation scrap. Girona last season were 10th, so they were starting to build a bit. Obviously, they built so quickly and so highly since that season, but Leicester were like 501 or something to be relegated that year, and they won the league. And honestly, yeah, that's probably the biggest fairy tale in football history. So if Girona did win La Liga, I don't think it would be on par with Leicester, but God, don't take it away from them if they do it. It would be absolutely sensational if they can do that. So hopefully they can, but I don't think people should be comparing it to Leicester's title winning season, because I think that was just extraordinary. They did have some amazing players like Mahrez, Kante, Vardy, but they did get them cheap. They didn't spend a fortune on them. They got them really cheap and built them into world class players. And then obviously they went on to bigger clubs like Chelsea. So yeah, I don't think that Girona and Leicester's title charges are on par. Obviously Leicester won it. I think that year in the Premier League wasn't the best level, to be honest. I think Arsenal or Tottenham came second. I can't remember on the top of my head, but you can't take away from either club. Absolutely brilliant achievement by both. Girona will just want to keep it up. One defeat all season is absolutely sensational for a club who also Girona were one of the favourites to go down as well, surprisingly, this season as well. So you have to remember that factor as well. So bit more information about Girona. It was founded in 1930. I've spent 87 years of being in the lower divisions. Girona were promoted in 2017 and then taken over by the City Football Group. So obviously spent a long time of their history in the lower divisions, like I said earlier, and then got promoted, then the takeover. So they didn't get taken over, then got promoted, then taken over, if that makes sense. 44.3% City Football Group owner Girona, so I'm not sure who else owns the club, but they do have nearly 50% of the club. So they definitely have quite a bit of control of the football club and the finances as well. But yeah, you have to applaud Girona for their rise, and yeah, it's fantastic fairy tale if they can go another 19 games without losing or being on par with Real Madrid. But obviously Real Madrid have Champions League football coming up around February and March time, so Girona could take advantage of that if Real Madrid do slip up. But it's going to be a really good title race. I wouldn't rule out Barca Atleti just yet, but obviously they have been inconsistent this season. So maybe it is Girona's year. If Real Madrid keep slipping and Girona keep thriving forward, it could be their year. But who knows? Comment down below your prediction for the La Liga title race. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about, obviously, is the Premier League title race. Liverpool are top with 45 points. Aston Villa second with 42. Manchester City side are third with 40 points and have a game in hand, and also are fourth with 40 points. So I'm going to talk about who I think is a real title contender, what the clubs need to do if they want to be a serious title winning side, and who will drop off. So let's start with fourth place Manchester City. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is back in training, and they have built some momentum since the Club World Cup victory over Fluminense in Saudi Arabia. Kevin De Bruyne being back is a massive boost for Manchester City. Obviously, the whole league is expecting them to go on a massive winning streak and win the Premier League. I'm hoping they don't. I don't think they'll go on a massive winning streak. I'm just hoping here, by the way. But Kevin De Bruyne being back is a massive boost for Manchester City. They have missed him massively. So yeah, I'd still put City as favourites to win the Premier League, and it would be a very historic season for them if they do that. A fourth Premier League title in a row. No other club has done that in Premier League history. Not even the Manchester United or Arsenal or Chelsea have done that before. So it would be historic. I would definitely put Pep Guardiola as one of the greatest managers of all time, even though he is already one of the best. It would put him even more in a higher bracket, in my opinion. I still won't put him over Sir Alex Ferguson. I think he's the best of all time, but Pep Guardiola is definitely up there as well. But if they keep everyone fit, City, Kevin De Bruyne being back, look really dangerous. I don't think they need to do any business in January, to be honest. They just need to keep everyone fit, like John Stones, which is the biggest example. Obviously, a fantastic player, but injured quite a lot. So if he can stay fit, Manchester City will definitely be performing better on the pitch and will look to win a fourth Premier League title in a row. Next up is Arsenal, who I've put as third favourites. I'll go to Liverpool last. But Arsenal recently top on Christmas Day, and then they are fourth by New Year's Day, which is a real surprise. Obviously, a defeat at West Ham 2-0 at the Emirates, and then a 2-1 defeat at Fulham. A lot of people have turned on Arsenal very quickly, which is really weird. People were saying, oh yeah, they're going to win the league after they got a really good point at Anfield. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, they're not good enough. Oh no, they haven't got a striker. All this, all that. Like, stick to your opinions. Like, you can't be turning on a club that quickly. I do agree that they do miss something if they want to win the league, and that is probably a striker. A lot of people won't agree with me here, but I don't think they have good enough fullbacks to win the Premier League. Like, you look at City's, obviously they don't have an out-and-out left-back, but obviously they've got many versatile defenders who can play at left-back Manchester City. So Nathan Ake is on that left-back position normally. And then right-back, they've got one of the best Premier League history, Kyle Walker, who is still absolutely brilliant at around 33 years old. They're like title-winning fullbacks who have a massive impact on the game now. Liverpool, Robertson, Trent, probably the best fullback partnership in Premier League history. Obviously, getting so many assists and having such a big impact on a football match for Liverpool, especially in our title-winning season in 2020. But also, Zinchenko is not good enough. He's not. I know he was at City when they won the league, but I think he was probably back up, left back there. But Zinchenko, for me, people say, oh, he's amazing defending. He's really not. I watched that Liverpool game, and people, I didn't say the hype in Zinchenko, might just be an off day, but the defending for Salah's goal was absolutely appalling. Just let Salah dribble past him, let him cut inside, and Salah banged it right into the back of the net. So, and then he's passing. People say his passing's like unbelievable, world class on Trent's level. No, it's not. Absolutely not. Zinchenko is nowhere near Alexander Arnold's level. Obviously, both do that inverted fullback position, so they do drop in the midfield, try to ping balls across the pitch. But honestly, Alexander Arnold's miles better than Zinchenko, in my opinion. Even defending, people say Trent can't defend. He can't defend. not world class. I don't think he can defend world class. Not like Trippier, not like Walker, like with the 1v1s and etc. But I still think Alexander Arnold is fine as an inverted fullback or a right back. And I wouldn't swap him for any right back in the world, even though his defensive side of him isn't as good as Kyle Walker's or Trippier's. As what Trent offers you on the pitch is absolutely brilliant. So Zinchenko for me, he's not a title winning fullback, to be honest. And then Ben White, I do like Ben White. I think he's a good player, but obviously he was centre back in his first year at Arsenal and at Brighton as well. That's why I also paid £50 million, and then he's been put into right back. I think he's a solid right back, but I don't think he's world class right back. He's decent going forward and he's decent at the back. But he doesn't really offer you anything like the wow factor. Like, wow, what a ball. Wow, what a shot. Like, something that could change the game. Ben White doesn't really offer that. And I'm not sure why Arteta put him right back last season. Obviously, Saliba got into Arsenal last season and he's absolutely phenomenal, but it's a weird one. I do think Arsenal need to improve the fullback position if they want to win the league. I think the midfield's really good. I think Declan Rice has been probably the signing of the summer in my opinion. Obviously he had a few bad games recently, but you can't take away how good he's been for Arsenal this season. Martin Odegaard's brilliant, phenomenal footballer, but he hasn't been at it this season. Maybe because the attack has been very, very poor as well. And then they've got Kai Havertz, who's a very versatile player. Not world class, but he is a solid Premier League player on his day as well. And then they've got the likes of Thomas Partey, Fabio Vieira, who they can bring off the bench as well. So I think the midfield's absolutely fine. The attack, on the other hand, Martinelli hasn't been really out this season. I believe he's only scored 2 goals, so he just hasn't clicked this season, which isn't like him compared to last season. Gabriel Jesus isn't a striker; he's a centre forward, and unless you have a absolute world class centre forward, then I don't really think that they can win the league. Obviously, they'll probably want an out and out goal scorer. Like Ivan Toney's been massively linked with Arsenal recently. But if you're gonna have a centre forward instead of like an out and out striker, then he has to be world class. And Jesus is not world class in my opinion. Obviously, I watch one of the best centre forwards in Prem history, if not the best centre forward in Prem history, for at least a good 5-7 years in Bobby Firmino, who is absolutely phenomenal footballer and was world class. And he linked up everything. Without Firmino, Mane doesn't click and Salah doesn't click. It's as simple as that, and he was absolutely brilliant in our title charge and our Champions League success as well. So I think Arsenal do lack that last bit up front as well. But who did they sign? Ivan Toney's obviously the biggest candidate for the Arsenal striker role. Obviously there's a risk he's still suspended I think till the end of January, and he hasn't played in probably like 6 months now, so obviously he might not be match fit, he might not be as sharp as well. And then Arsenal, if they want to get a striker, they'll need a striker who can guarantee goals like straight away, because if they don't start scoring enough goals, then I don't think they'll be able to win the Premier League. I don't even think they'll be able to put in a proper title charge if they don't get that like out and out goal scorer as well. So yeah, the Arsenal attack's been really weak this season. Saka's had an okay season, but not been his best so far. But they do need to step up Arsenal if they want to win the Premier League. I definitely do think they need to at least get one signing in the transfer window. I do think that is a striker is the main position I think they need sorted. But they do have a good team, or like when they're all clicking on the day, they're a very, very strong side. But I just do think they lack that little bit. Like Liverpool had Mo Salah out from when they won the league, like as that proper out and out goal scorer. City have Haaland, they had Aguero as well. Chelsea had Eden Hazard when they won the league in 2017 as well, and then even Leicester had Jamie Vardy as well. So there's like always like a proper world class player in each attack, at least one per attack. And Jamie Carragher was saying on Sky Sports that they don't have a world class attacker, which I do agree to an extent. I think Bukayo Saka will be the one that becomes world class, but right now, none of them are classed as world class. And world class is like the best of the best. And I wouldn't put Martinelli as the best of the best. I wouldn't put Jesus as the best of the best. Saka not there yet, but I think he will be there in the future. But it will be interesting to see how Arsenal respond to this bad form. Although the title race, absolutely not. Will they win the Premier League? In my opinion, no, I don't think they will. So next up is the surprise package this season, Aston Villa. Unai Emery's been absolutely sensational this season. Definitely manager of the season so far. Second in the league, absolutely unbelievable. They've dropped the levels a little bit lately. They just about got a win against Burnley, and they got a frustrating draw against Sheffield United at Villa Park. But Aston Villa, what a season. Do I think they'll keep it up? A lot of people say they'll drop off massively. I don't think they'll drop off massively. I do think they will drop off a bit. It's just inevitable, to be honest. Especially if they keep everyone fit, then maybe they can like stay third or something. But if especially if they get another injury in the back line, then I do think they'll be in trouble. Where do I think they'll finish? Fourth or fifth? Tottenham are definitely closing in on that on that fourth spot as well. So Aston Villa will have to keep it up as well. But the quality hasn't been there this season. Say in the last few games, but they've still got over the line against Burnley in a game that they should be winning easy at Villa Park. I think they've been really, really good this year. Absolutely brilliant. I think the defence, obviously that high line of players, outrageous. Kind of what we did back in 2020. Play very high line, we're caught people offside all the time, and then we could play more attacking football and score more goals. Which is what Aston Villa are doing as well. And they have scored a lot of goals this season. And the home form's been the best in the Premier League, which has definitely helped them to be where they are right now. So yeah, if they can keep, I think if they want to win the Premier League, which I don't think they'll obviously want to win it, but if they can't go on a title charge, which I don't think they can, they need to get that away form better. They've got it's decent, but it's not title winning away form, if you get what I mean. So the home form's brilliant. They haven't lost there since I think Arsenal beat them 4-2 in like last season. So since then they haven't got beaten. They've beat City at home this season, beat Arsenal home, both clean sheets as well, and they've played really well in those games as well. So Aston Villa, I'll definitely fancy themselves. Unai Emery will definitely think that they can do it. It's where they drop off. I think January is a massive, massive month for clubs. Obviously, players are going off to the African Cup of Nations as well, so that could have a big factor in people's season. Because January is like that midpoint of the season, really. Like December, I do think January is a bigger month for the season than December, because obviously if you have a brilliant December and then a really poor January, then it puts you in a worse position. And then like I think by the end of January you see who's in the title race, who's in the relegation scrap truly, and who's going to be going for Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, truly. So if Aston Villa can get through this month, they've got some tough games as well. They've got Newcastle home. I think that's the next Premier League game, or the one after. That's a tough game as well. So they have got a few Premier League games in January. So if they can win all of them, then who knows? Going into February, keeping everyone fit, then they'll fancy themselves to push for the title. But if they get an injury or they lose more form and drop points, then I think top four they'll be saying, right, the title's too far for us, let's focus on Champions League. And what a year from where they were when Unai Emery took over to now is absolutely brilliant, and he deserves all the credit. They've spent money, but like everybody spends money nowadays, and the players they've signed have been absolutely brilliant. The likes of Moussa Diaby, John McGinn's been brilliant. Douglas Luiz has stepped these levels as well, and the defence has been brilliant. Pau Torres has been brilliant sign as well, and Ollie Watkins has been banging in the goals. So they look a really good side, but the big question is, can they keep it up? in my opinion. I don't think they'll be in the title race. I do think they'll get 4th or 5th. Finally, let's talk about Liverpool. We are top of the league with 45 points. We're in a really, really good position after a brilliant December. A frustrating one at times was should it be Arsenal, in my opinion. I thought it was kind of a fair game, but we did have some big chances in that game, especially the famous 5v1 with Declan Rice. We should have scored. Simple as that. And then Manchester United 0-0. That was bad result for us. Obviously, it's a historic game, but we should have beat them. Simple as that. We had 34 shots in that game. We should beat them. We had a brilliant game against Newcastle United the other night. We had the highest expected goals since records began 2011. 7.27 goals expected in that game, which was phenomenal. We had 34 shots. Newcastle had 5. It was a much tighter game than it had to be, and it was a controversial end to the game with a penalty. But we should have finished that game at half time. Mo Salah should have done better with his penalty in the first half, but we did get through and we got the win. Can we win the league? Yes, we can. And I'm going to say we will win the league. I've got faith in this team. Do we need to sign anyone in January? I think we need one signing. I'm not sure where that is. I think we are going to miss Mo Salah and Wataru Endo a lot in this January. But if we can get through January, get them back, get them banging in, especially Mo Salah, get them straight back into the goals. Wataru Endo, keep them fit. Hopefully they don't get injured over there in Africa and Asia. Hopefully they stay fit as well. I still think the defence is the weakest point in our team. I think the midfield rebuilds went really well. I think the midfield has performed very, very well. And we have missed McAllister. He went under the radar at first at Liverpool, didn't get much credit. Obviously, Szoboszlai was banging it for Liverpool at the start. He's dropped off a bit. I don't think he's performed as well in the last month or so. But we definitely have missed McAllister, and you only notice when he's out the team. But Wataru Endo as the number 6 is a no-brainer. It's absolute no-brainer. We're conceding less goals. We're a lot more comfortable defending with Wataru Endo in there. And he's guaranteed starter in the Premier League, in my opinion, when he comes back for the rest of the season, if he can stay fit, which hopefully he can when he's over in Asia. McAllister has come back from injury as well, so that's a big factor. But Szoboszlai did pick up a hamstring injury against Newcastle, so Jurgen Klopp is not sure how long he could be out for. Hopefully it's just minor. If he's out the FA Cup this weekend, then so be it. But hopefully he's back for the Premier League game against Bournemouth in 2 weeks or so. So yeah, keeping players fit is a massive factor, and getting Salah and Endo back as quick as possible is a big factor as well. Hopefully they do. I hope they win it for themselves and the countries, because obviously it means so much to them representing your country and winning the AFCON and the Asian Cup. So hopefully they do win it, but as long as they stay fit and as long as they're back sharp when they return, then I have no problem with them going on a run and winning it. And hopefully they do, because you can tell Mo loves his country. You can tell how gutted he was when he lost 2021 AFCON final. And then Endo's a proper leader and he's got proper passion as well. So they both deserve to win their respective international competitions. Why do I think we'll win the league? I think we're clicking. This month is massive, absolutely massive for us. We're at FA Cup third round. If we go out, so be it. I think the games we're going to have going into the second half of the season is going to be a lot. And if we're in the FA Cup as well, and it means we'll have to obviously play more games, and then it might affect our title charge. But I think it's a big month because we can see how good our team is without Salah and Endo. Obviously, the attack has to step up. Nunez has to step up. Jota has to stay fit and step up. Diaz played well against Newcastle, but he's got to stay on form. Obviously, Cody Gakpo's got a big role as well. So the attackers do have to step up when Mo Salah's gone. And if they do, then I definitely, and we'll get through the games, win all our January games as well, then I definitely think we'll be in a title charge. But this is a big month for us. This month, for me, sees where we are really at. And if we can get through this month at the top of the league, then I genuinely think we will win the Premier League. this season. But we do have some tough games. Two Carabao Cup semi-final legs, FA Cup, maybe a fourth round if we go through. We have Chelsea at home, that's a tough game. Bournemouth away, who are in absolutely fantastic form at the minute, and no mug. So we do have some really, really tough games at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be a big one for us, but hopefully we can get through it with wins. And a Carabao Cup final place. It'll be a big, big chance for us to win a trophy early on in the season as well. So it'll be a big psychological boost if we can win the Carabao Cup as well. So hopefully we can get through that, and if we get through the FA Cup, that's even better. Could have another push towards the trophy, but I'd rather win the Europa League and the Premier League than the FA Cup, to be honest. But I do fancy ourselves in the Carabao Cup with the teams left. We can beat Fulham, Chelsea in the final. We've beat them before. We've beat stronger Chelsea in the final before, and Middlesbrough, who aren't a bad team, but obviously we should be favourites in the final to beat Middlesbrough as well. So I do think we'll win the league, but City are definitely the biggest threat, and I still think Arsenal will be a threat for most of the season as well. So it is definitely heating up to be a fantastic title race, and it'll be interesting to see who wins it. And we'll go for Liverpool. Come on, the Reds! But let's go on to the FA Cup preview now. Let's start with the biggest game. I actually don't even think it's the biggest game. I think the Time Wheel Derby is massive. But we'll start with Arsenal Liverpool. Both teams, it might have a psychological advantage for both teams. I feel like if we go out, we'll go out. Like, it might actually be an advantage if we go out, because Arsenal have more games. They'll have to obviously play more football as well, more travelling, and that could have effect on their title charge as well. And they're in the Champions League as well, which is obviously high intensity as well. So it could be a lot of games for Arsenal, and they might not be able to keep up in the Premier League title race. So if they go through the FA Cup and have more games, and we have less games, then it could definitely help us this season. Obviously, we're in the Europa League, but obviously the Europa League isn't as high intense as the Champions League, so I don't think we'd actually have to be running as much as Arsenal would be in the Champions League. Against Porto, they should be beating Porto, but once the quarterfinals come around, they'll probably get a big, big team like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or something like that, and then that's where it really drains you psychologically as well. So it could be a big factor this FA Cup for a third round, you'll say. But if we lose, I will be disappointed. You're always disappointed when you lose a football match. You're always a bit angry, but you get over it. As long as we can push on towards the league, the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, then so be it. If we get out the FA Cup, I think it'll probably help our season even more. But as long as the lads put 100% effort in and try to win the game, and if we get beat, we get beat. It just depends what team put out. I can't tell if Jurgen Klopp will put out a full team or a second team or a mixed team. Probably a bit of a mix. Maybe Callagher and Gord, and then Quansah, and then Elliot starting, and then maybe like Gakpo starting or something like that. So maybe a mix of like strong and so-called weak. I don't like to call it weak, but strong and weak team as well. So it'll be interesting for that. But that is the big game. The next one, interesting. We'll go on the Time Wheel Derby last. I've only picked 3 games out. Wigan v Man United. Could be a big game for Wigan actually at the DW Stadium as well. So if Man U lose this and they play a big team as well, I know they've got injuries, they've got problems off the pitch. I know they've just had a 25% takeover, but on the pitch that's no excuse, to be honest. So could be a big game, and if Wigan win this, then Man U, wow, I think it's a good chance for Man U in trophy though. I think Eric Ten Hag has to go for this trophy in my opinion. So it's a big chance for them. I think Eric Ten Hag does need a trophy. He won Carabao Cup last year. I think Peter forgot about that by now. So I think out of the big managers, I think he's one of the most who needs this FA Cup. Obviously the favourites, Man City, they've got Huddersfield. They should be easily winning that, even with a second team. No offence to Huddersfield. Obviously, whoever wins really Liverpool also, there will be a threat as well. So it's gonna be an interesting FA Cup campaign. But let's go on to my opinion biggest game, because this game has been on in 8 years. The Tyne-and-Wear derby between Sunderland and Newcastle. Newcastle, poor form, lost to Liverpool. Put up a good fight, to be fair to them, but we absolutely battered them, stats wise and in the game. But it shouldn't have been 4-2. But they did put up a good fight, to be honest, and they nearly got a point. It was 3-2 1 point, and who knows what could have happened there. But this is massive for them. Their away form is 19th out of 20th in the Premier League. Only 5 points picked up away from home this season as well. And obviously lost in the Carabao Cup as well, to Chelsea. They did draw AC Milan in the Champions League, they drew PSG, and they lost Dortmund. So 2 points out of 9. It's not great, but it's okay for a team first time in 20 years Champions League. But their away form's really poor. But this is absolutely massive. I think this is a massive game, especially if Eddie Howe will stay as Newcastle manager. I don't think he'll get sacked if they lose this, but if they get embarrassed here, the fans will turn on Eddie Howe if they get beat here. Some of them, I'm not saying that's right, but I think they will, because obviously this game means so much. And if they get beat by Sunderland, which they shouldn't be getting beat by Sunderland, if I'm being honest with you, then I think Eddie Howe will be under pressure, especially in the form they're in. I'm not saying he'll deserve to get sacked. I don't think he deserves to get sacked. I think he's a fantastic manager, but I think the pressure will mount a bit. And obviously the Saudi owners, maybe not Amanda Staveley and her team, but the people high up, like the proper high owners, then who knows? I think like the pressure could get onto Eddie Howe. But I still think he's a fantastic manager. A lot of Newcastle fans saying, "Oh, he's not the guy to take us to the top." I think that's harsh. I think getting fourth place, just second season. I think it was like the first full season with the Saudis. Was absolutely phenomenal. And they overachieved by an absolute mile last year. They were predicted around 7th. I thought they'd finish around Conference League, but no, they got Champions League, and they put up a good fight in the Champions League as well. So they did overachieve last season as well, and anyhow deserves all the credit for that. But Sunderland, on the other hand, they have nothing to lose here. They have absolutely nothing to lose. This would be brilliant for Sunderland, brilliant for Michael Beale, who's already been criticised heavily by the Sunderland fan base. And the Sunderland fan base are unhappy with the appointment of Michael Beale as well. So if he can win this, then you'll get the Sunderland fans on his side, and even if they get knocked out the next round, beating Newcastle would be massive for them. Be massive bragging rights as well, and it would be a bit embarrassing by Newcastle on their perspective. So Sunderland have absolutely nothing to lose, and it could be a tight game. I think Newcastle will win. It just depends what team Eddie Howe puts out. Sunderland will know what team Sunderland will put out. They'll put their strong team out, but will Eddie Howe give chance to like Lewis Hall? Obviously, Lewis Smiley's been signed, who's been phenomenal at 17. Will like Kraft play? Like, I'm just thinking of players on the top of my head. Dummets, players like that, will they play, or will they play a full strength team? That means a lot of both fan bases, but Newcastle will feel the pressure here. They're under the most pressure. Sunderland have nothing to lose, so it's going to be a really good game. It's my Emirates FA Cup game of the weekend. Obviously Arsenal Liverpool's massive, but this will be very entertaining encounter between both teams as well. So I am looking forward to watching that game. I do think Newcastle will win 3-1, but Sunderland will put up a fight 100%. So finally, I'm going to be going through potential Ballon d'Or winners for 2024. I've picked some players, obviously, and I'm going to like go through them one by one and see if this happens, then their chances of winning the Ballon d'Or could increase massively. So let's start. They're obviously mainly forwards, because mainly forwards win the Ballon d'Or. It is a shame. I wish a goalkeeper would win a Ballon d'Or. It would be fantastic. Neuer probably deserved one. I think it was 2014 when he won the World Cup with Germany. 2013, 2014, that's when he probably deserved one. to be honest with you. Keylor Navas has said quite a few times that goalkeepers should have their own Ballon d'Or, which is probably a fair point, to be honest. But yeah, these are mainly attackers. So let's start. Mo Salah. Mo Salah, he's been brilliant this season. Obviously, AFCON. I think if he was going to win the Ballon d'Or, I think if Egypt win AFCON, that would be a big, big bonus. I think Liverpool win the Europa League, Liverpool win the Premier League, Liverpool win the Carabao Cup, and he keeps up these stats, then 100%. And if a nation that doesn't have, like, if France don't win the Euros, England don't, like if Germany or something win the Euros, and there isn't really a star player on the Germany side who could win the Ballon d'Or, to be honest, then I think he could. But I think the Euros will have a massive impact on who will win the Ballon d'Or this summer. But I definitely think Liverpool have to win the Premier League. You have to keep up these stats, and I think Liverpool have to win the Europa League as well. So I do think you'll have a chance if it keeps up these stats. I don't think you will win it. I do think he gets overlooked at times, but obviously not being in the Champions League is a big factor as well. So yeah, he's one to put up there because of how good his stats are, but I don't think he'd win the Ballon d'Or, but it's definitely a shout. Next up, Jude Bellingham, one of the favourites, probably favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. He's a player, except Mo Salah, who I would love to win the Ballon d'Or. Big factors for him. La Liga, they'll have to win La Liga, in my opinion. Champions League, they've got to go on a massive run or even win it. And England, the Euros, this is one that's massive. The Euros for Jude Bellingham, absolutely massive. If he wins the Euros with England and he starts in the tournament, I think if he does that, then that might be enough to win the Ballon d'Or. If England disappoint and underachieve and he doesn't have a good tournament, then maybe not. But they have to win La Liga, Real Madrid, and I do think England do have to win the Euros if he wants to have a massive shot at winning the Ballon d'Or. His stats are phenomenal. Will he keep them up? Who knows? This kid can do anything, so we don't know. But obviously, if he keeps up his stats and he wins La Liga and does well in England, then he's definitely got a big chance. I think he's got a bigger chance than Mo Salah, obviously because he's at Real Madrid and he's younger, and obviously with England as well, so he'll be in the Euros this summer and Mo Salah won't. So I think he's definitely got a bigger chance than Mo Salah to win the Ballon d'Or. Next up, who's been probably the best striker in the world this season? Harry Kane, absolutely phenomenal. What a start for Bayern Munich. Big factors, got to win the Bundesliga. Leverkusen have came out of nowhere. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Giroud, I was talking about Giroud earlier. Leverkusen, I might do in the next episode because they've been unbelievable. I hope Xabi Alonso is the next Liverpool manager. That would be absolutely brilliant to have him as the next Liverpool manager. Because I think he's absolutely phenomenal and he's done a fantastic job with Leverkusen. They've scored 81 goals. 81 goals this season in all competitions. It's absolutely ludicrous. Frimpong and Grimaldo, the stats they're getting at fullback is outrageous, and they've been absolutely brilliant this season, Leverkusen. So if Leverkusen win the Bundesliga, then Harry Kane's in trouble. Again, the Euros to England, Harry Kane's the main star for England. Obviously, might not get as much credit across the world as Jude Bellingham will, because of his age, pretty much. But Harry Kane scores for England in tournaments, always does. 2018 Golden Boot winner as well. So I think he'll definitely score goals in the Euros as well for England. And if England can win it and Bayern Munich can win the Champions League and the Bundesliga, then Harry Kane's got a massive shout for the Ballon d'Or. And that's why he left Tottenham, to have a shot at these honours and these trophies. And he wouldn't have a shot at the Ballon d'Or at Tottenham, even if he won the Euros and starred with England and he was at Tottenham. Unless Tottenham won the Premier League, then I don't think he would have a shot. But Harry Kane's definitely got a good chance, like Jude Bellingham, if England do well and if Bayern Munich go on and win the Champions League. Next up, Erling Haaland should win it 2023. I don't want to say robbed, but he was very hard done by, and I think he deserved to win it over Messi, in my opinion. Obviously, people say that the World Cup, the Ballon d'Or stated that, like, it doesn't count from the day after the World Cup to like when the Ballon d'Or was announced. So Messi, that was 2022, the World Cup anyway. So Messi didn't have a great year stats wise. Obviously in MLS as well. So ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. Really, it's mind blowing. I do love Messi. I think he's brilliant. But this year, Erling Haaland won the treble, scored 52 goals in all competitions. It's absolutely brilliant. He scored 14 goals so far in the Premier League this season, and he hasn't even been fit for all of them. So yeah, it just shows Erling Haaland's level, really, doesn't it? So big factors: City win the Prem and City win the Champions League. No way on going to the Euros. So I don't think he will win it this year because of that reason. I do think he might win it next year though, but City have to win the Prem, City have to win the Champions League, and he has to keep up these numbers if he's in for a shout. Finally, Kylian Mbappe. These are just a few I picked, some of the major ones that you think, oh yeah, they've got a big chance to win the Ballon d'Or. If I missed anyone, please let us know. But Kylian Mbappe, will he win it? France have to win the Euros. Simple as that. He has to start. He has to keep his stats up. PSG win Ligue 1. That's pretty straightforward. And he has to move probably to Real Madrid. Has to start well there. And then maybe he'll win the Ballon d'Or. But if he stayed to PSG, then I just don't see it happening. But France win the Euros would definitely help Kylian Mbappe's case and win the Ballon d'Or. So yeah, I think the Euros has a massive, massive factor on the Ballon d'Or this summer, and then also the Champions League as well, and of course individual stats and league campaigns as well. So many factors on the Ballon d'Or. Who do I think will win it? I'll go Jude. We'll go Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham will win it. I have faith in Jude, and hopefully he does win it. Him or a Liverpool player would be great. But anyway, that is all for the Football Talk episode 1. If anyone has any suggestions for next week, please comment down below. And if anyone wants to be in a video, please message me on social media. Really long video, but fantastic to do it. Love talking about football, love doing all this. It's an absolute honour to do this for you guys. So I will see you all in the next video. Take care.